Welcome. Today, I will walk you through Prime Legal Services back office support and how the back office support can be of assistance to you, your firm, or your loan modification company. Now you might be asking yourself, why should you adopt the back office system? First off, regardless of whether you're a veteran or have little experience working in the foreclosure market, our team of trained and experienced paralegals can guide you and your clients through the entire process. Our team of paralegals have been working in the mortgage industry for many years and already understand the slight nuances of working with many service companies, including, but not limited to, Bank of America, Chase, City Mortgage, GMAC, Homeward Residential, IndyMac Mortgage, Ocwen, TD Bank, Wells Fargo, and US Bank. Prime Legal Services also provides detailed analytical reports that can determine whether or not your client can qualify for a HAMP modification or one of the many in-house modifications offered by a majority of the major lenders. This report not only increases your chances of obtaining an approval for your client, but will also speed up the overall process so that you can close the file much faster. Also, adding our back office support to your office means you do not need to hire any dedicated paralegals to work specifically on processing your loan modification files. This will not only decrease the costs associated with hiring a dedicated team to handle modification files, but will also alleviate you of the frustration of having to sit on the phone with the bank for hours to complete basic status checks and to verify whether additional files are necessary to complete the file, and more importantly, will give you more time to focus on your office's day-to-day operations, spend more time advising clients, and give you more time to enjoy life. Our back office provides you with a complete private label solution so that your clients and the servicer will know that you are representing the client at all times. Prime Legal Services simply works with you on a business-to-business level. In reality, every client is yours. You're simply contracting with us to handle your paralegal work, and we will only work as your paralegal. All faxes, emails, letterheads, etc. will contain your organization's logo, header, and contact information so that both the client and the servicer knows that you are the individual representing the client. Every time a processor directly negotiates with the servicer, they will address themselves as your paralegal. Our job is only to complete the paralegal work you have contracted us to do. The modification process is a tedious and time-consuming process which requires diligence and many man-hours to complete. Our back office support has the infrastructure to handle a large volume of files. Depending on the number of files that need to be processed, we assign a set number of files to individual processors, so no one processor is overwhelmed with a large caseload. Another major benefit of working with us is that even when one processor is out of the office for the day, or for example is out on medical leave, Prime Legal Services has a full paralegal team in place to take over any file so that no file is delayed. At this time, I would like to highlight that during the modification process, our paralegals will need to obtain specific confidential information, such as tax returns, bank statements, pay stubs, and other information which the bank requires to evaluate the modification file. The loss mitigation portal will allow you to monitor every file, every communication, so you can proceed as you choose. If you would like to make things easier for yourself, we can email the client requesting specific documentation as your paralegal and CC you on the email so that you are not only aware of what is happening with the file, but also so you can supervise every communication with the client. If you prefer to maintain direct communication with your client, we can accommodate you. If you'd rather we notify you first of the files necessary, and then notify your client, and finally deliver the file to us, we are willing to work with you. We can also notify you privately of sensitive information and materials so that you may approach the client as you desire. Our organization is flexible, and we are willing to work with you to make every communication as transparent as you desire. Further, the loss mitigation portal will keep track of everything that is being done with the file at all times. Every note is kept in chronological order to show the entire history of all communication transactions and reviews that have taken place for the life of the modification process. Every note will also show the specific processor and individual who was working on the file to create transparency and determine accountability. The loss mitigation portal also contains tools to allow the processor, the attorney, and the client to set tasks for one another. This will allow all parties to set a scheduled agenda so that all tasks associated with the file are completed on a timely and efficient manner, and will also serve as a reminder to processors to get in contact with the servicer or negotiator to determine why the file is not moving along should the servicer fail to get in contact with us sooner. Now I can keep going on and on about how the back office works and how all this can make your job as an attorney easier, but it would probably make more sense for me to show you how this all works. Processors work on the file on a daily basis, and even some days work on the files multiple times throughout the day. And all parties associated with the file, the processor, the attorney, and the client, they are all notified of what is happening with the file as each task is completed. In this mailbox alone, you can see that at some point one of the processors dealt with the file, and at each time an update was made. Once at 10:59 a.m., another at 12:02 p.m., and another at 12:26 p.m. And each time, the parties were notified of what was happening with that specific file. Now, taking a look at the most recent email update, we can determine which client it is. The attorney representing the client and every single event related to that file. As we take a look, we can see that on September 9, 2012, one of our processing managers emailed the pay stubs and the hardship letter to the lender. On September 20th, 2012, one of our processors received a phone call from the lender requesting pay stubs, and they immediately noted it for all parties to be notified so that the client could obtain the said documents. On September 21st, 2012, one of our processing managers noted that we've received an annual escrow account disclosure statement, so on and so forth. I also would like to note that you and your staff also have access to the loss mitigation portal, allowing you to maintain a list of all actions taking place so that you can document all events. As you see noted on October 4th, 2012, a member from the attorney's office updated the account indicating the client has made a payment. The loss mitigation portal not only acts as a means of communication between our processors and you and your staff, it can also be used to catalog every aspect of the file so that you are never lost with any of the aspects. So what are you waiting for? Don't you deserve to have a more efficient processing branch? Don't you deserve to make your job easier? Contact us at 973-471-3381 and get started today. Prime Legal Services, making your job as an attorney easier.